There's plenty of time to music box. I don't have to rush this. Look at. Oh my god, I missed her again. Hey there, and welcome back to One Night of Springtrap'S Locked Within, where we're gonna be pretty much going through the night again, trying to beat it. Alright, I'm very committed to actually beating this now, to be honest. I have to remember, my biggest thing is not, like, getting out of control with the characters. Obviously, Balloon Boy's major focus. Then I'm gonna have to, like, switch over to, like, deal with the music box. I get all the audio cues whenever they're here. And I have to remember the spider. The spider is also giving me problems. Predator's back again. I didn't mention this in the first video, but it looks like their pathing is kind of like random, where it's not like a straight line. They don't go straight to my office. They can go back and forth sometimes, which I've come to notice. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, the music box started playing and I didn't notice. Like, it took me a good while, like, wait a minute, what's that music in the background?
Why did my music box of delight stop playing?
I mean, you didn't give me enough time, you know, I was a bit slow. Oh. It's the girl. There's also... Okay, for a second I thought I heard something, but I can't make out if there's anything being said. Oh, Jesus. Okay, rare screen, look at that. Alright, I have to also start being wary of the spider. You gotta be very careful here. Get rid of you. Alright, come on, Balloon Boy. There we go. Okay, we're still clear. We did it. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie, that jump scared me a little bit. I thought I messed up. Okay. Honestly, yeah, again, I really should have done that in the first video, but by the time I reached that ending for the recording, I was pretty drained and already, like, down about my defeat there. But let's see. Clearly in the... I guess we're in the Fredbear suit? Oh, hey there, puppet. How you doing? Can you, like, please not stare at me? I'm a bit shy, please. You don't gotta keep that kind of eye contact, okay? What do you want from me? Is this even me right now, by the way? Because either I got stuffed in the suit regardless. Oh. Okay, puppet decided to leave. What about Bonnie's? Bonnie... Hi, Bonnie. Hello. Oh, I can't turn anymore. End scene. Wait. I couldn't make out what that voice was. Was that? That might have been the girl or the puppet. Alright, but that pretty much... Let's see, actually. I don't know what happens if I press play night again. Let's go to extras. We got our star. Hard mode. I mean, I already knew we were gonna see this. Toy Golden Freddy, Toy Spring Bonnie, Spring Balloon Boy, Spring Puppet. Oh, wow. Okay. Spring Mangle, Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Wait, so if this is Charlie, then Samantha? Why did they need a name? So, if this is supposed to be Charlie, then I guess who's the puppet supposed to be in that sense? Anyways, let's go to jump scares. What the hell? What? Oh, they bashed me now with their guitar, of course. Fredbear. Wait, you can get jump. Oh wait, yeah, you can get jump scared by Fredbear if you stare at him too long. Spring Bonnie, same thing. Toy Mangle or Spring Mangle, Charlie, Samantha, and finally the puppet. Next, we have behind the scenes. So is this? Oh no, I guess this is... Oh, okay, wait, hold on. This is like a edit of like the map, I guess, early version of the map. Pretty much looks exactly the same, only there was, I think, like the one on the left is like what's really the current map, and on the right was like a little bit revised. I mean, either way, I couldn't really make sense of like where the cameras were like positioned in terms of like the map layout. You don't really need to memorize the map layout anyway, because sound cues play a pretty big role in letting you know when to deal with characters and whatnot. Except for Samantha, the spider. Night 1. I think this is jump scare animations. Their positioning in the office. Camera positionings. But what the hell? And of course Samantha. Now we have hard mode. I would like to be hard mode. I don't want to really make a third video, right? Especially after, frankly, I should have done normal mode in the first video. So we'll see. I mean, depending on how hard mode is, I guess we'll see. The question is, like, I feel like I'm gonna be running to a lot more of like overlapping scenarios. I don't know what exactly is gonna change. Like, I imagine they're just gonna have less of a cooldown. Of course, they're all gonna be active at once. And the music's changed for the music box. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, well, that's also new, I guess. Let me just wind this up. Is it just me or the music box taking longer to wind up as well? Get out of here. Yeah, it takes a while to wind this music box up now. Jesus. Okay. This should prove interesting. Fake laughter. I noticed that sometimes they'll laugh even though they're not here. Yeah, okay, so there you go. She did it again. Come on. Wait. Managed to make it to 1 AM. Oh, come on, stay still. What is it? Cake. Come on. Go back on cams. Oh, I missed the balloon boy. God damn it. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Alright, just let him get me. Come on. You're worst. So, in that scenario, you have to. I don't really want to be. No thanks. So, I can already tell. One thing I'm gonna have to be careful of in hard mode is whenever I'm holding my breath, I have to make sure before I do any breath holding, I need to make sure that Balloon Boy is good. Like there's no they're not in need of being reset, which can be tricky because he moves so quickly as it is. And like let's say like if they show up and Balloon Boy is not active, and then I go to hold my breath, I don't know if I'll be able to get to him in time. By the time he like I don't know if I'll like but what if like by the time I'm done like holding my breath, Balloon Boy will have already been active and then left. Not sure if that's gonna happen, but we'll see if we can get farther than 1 AM. Damn it, couldn't get the spiders in time. Probably because Samantha attacked a lot earlier. I didn't realize the girl laughed. Damn it. Relax. There's plenty of time to music box. I don't have to rush this. Look at. Oh my god, I missed her again. I didn't even realize I missed her. Oh, and I missed Balloon Boy. God damn it. Let's see what you do. To be fair, if I knew it was gonna crash my game, I wasn't gonna actually do it. I wouldn't have let it happen. Damn it. I hesitated because I was like, wait, what about Balloon Boy? So I wanted to check, but it backfired. Because that's the you can't really, like, you can't delay them, really, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, or you have to deal with them immediately. So that was my mistake. Oh, I didn't get to... Damn it. It made me go on cameras when I was trying to collect the spiders. I got over complacent again with them.
Oh, that was a web of lies.
I keep getting caught in the same spot at 2 a.m. too. It's like one way or another, I just keep getting caught. I think I only have a few more tries left in me, and I probably won't make a separate video on hard mode, to be honest, because I'm not sure if I even have the endurance to try and, like, brute force my way through this night. It's like, the more and more I have to, like, constantly go after 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m. This is just, like, wearing down. I just can't, I keep getting caught by the bloody spider. It's like one way or another, I keep falling to it. Jesus Christ, that was what a nasty ambush that would have been. Wait, Fred, I didn't even know Fredbear was there. I didn't hear, on top of all the sound cues, I didn't notice he was there. I literally went to the camera too. God. Oh, of course. My luck, man. Alright, I'm honestly gonna leave it there. I don't think I really want to keep trying to hammer in hard mode, especially when I keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Of course, with that said, my thoughts on the game. Overall, I will say from a visual standpoint, and let me just go into regular night just to show it. I guess, like, again, I mentioned in the first part, this looked like, I thought this was a much older game than it appeared, just based on, like, the visual style, like, you know, at face value, but it actually is a lot more detailed than I imagined. I mean, this feels quite traditional for, like, a FNAF, for, like, a FNAF-esque office, right? But just in general, it's like really nice detail in the visual environments, the models for the characters especially. Also, some pretty interesting mechanics overall, right? I mean, obviously, you have familiar mechanics like a music box. Uh, you have the reset button for Balloon Boy. And I like how, in general, just like quite a few things going on that keeps you on your toes, right? For one, obviously, Balloon Boy is like your main priority. Then you have Fredbear with like these sigils or icons that you have to match whenever he shows up at the office. Quite a few different things. Obviously, you have Mangle and Bonnie with the stand still, and then you have the girl that shows up on camera, who you have to find and like scare off, and then the music box that's kind of like going all around the cameras. Even though that's one thing I will say, even though there are only 5 cameras, obviously the mechanics make you like go throughout all the cameras, right? Trying to find the music box specifically or the girl. So it makes use of the camera system quite well, and you're spending a good amount of time in it, which I do like. But it also makes it challenging in a way, like, where it feels like you're scrambling sometimes, trying to get to the cameras, or trying to, like, look for something particular in the cameras, and you have to kind of, like, strategize a bit on, like, how you're gonna, like, just, like, how to, like, get a good rhythm in the game, right? Especially, like, hard mode, we have to figure out a rhythm between, watching Balloon Boy, checking here for the spider. Also, yeah, the spider mechanic with, like, clicking the 4 corners for the spiders. Oh my god, look how much faster it is here. Hard mode, they just completely slow it down. Overall, I would say from a gameplay standpoint, it's pretty balanced, and it's not necessarily... It can be tricky, and not incredibly difficult if you follow the, if you follow the instructions, it all kind of flows really well. You don't really find yourself in a scenario where it's like, oh, that's unfair, how am I supposed to deal with that? No real double trouble scenarios, I would say. And just overall, it makes for a challenging experience for a game that focuses on like just one night, and you get more and more mechanics as you go on through the night. As for the story, right, obviously the whole premise is that we came here in search of our son who went missing during our daughter's birthday party, right? And obviously, we concluded that they must have gone missing. The last place they were seen is at the new Fredbear's location. Now, that ending, right, I'm sure there's probably another ending for hard mode. I don't know if I'll really, like, delve into that. But at least from what I can tell right now, I'm wondering if that scene at the end of, like, the normal night was actually our son possessing one of the animatronics thanks to the puppet. I think in general, that's probably going to be my take on where that story is kind of like what that's implying for this story, right? This premise with you searching for your son, even though you don't really seem to find them, obviously, at the end of the shift or night, I guess, because I assume after one night you just leave. Overall, I will say it is a nice change of pace playing this game where it was like a extended night, basically like around, I think, 11-12 minutes, which is part of the reason why it's also so fatiguing for me. Like, from a mental point of view, it's like, I don't know, like, to some extent, I can go at a, 6 to 7 minute night over and over and over again, right? Even if I get to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. But with a game, or like with nights like this, right, in this game, right, where it's like 11 minutes, like, even getting to 2 a.m. and failing there repeatedly kind of stacks up, and it's almost the equivalent of like reaching 4 a.m. just to die again and again. At least, like, I meant from a mental point of view. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like because the night is longer like that, each failure just hurts that much more. So it's like, it just tires you out more and more, personally. It's why I'm not a big fan of super long nights like that. Obviously, it depends on the game, and, like, in general, like, the way I think about it is, like, if you're gonna have, like, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10-minute long nights, it's better to have that when from a gameplay point of view, it's, like, very busy, and it doesn't feel like you're just slowly chugging along, right? I kind of want it where it's, like, the time kind of, like, flies by, almost. And that's something that sometimes you notice where it's, like, you play, like, night 1, night 2, because there's no activity. If the night is super long, it just feels like such a drag to get through because, obviously those are like the tutorial nights especially, but it's like because there's barely anything happening, you're just stuck there with a lot of like dead air almost. That's why, like, in a way, I wish is like when it comes to like earlier nights, I wish like some games did it where it's like the nights get long, like slightly longer as it gets more active. If you know, if the idea is that you want nights to get long, like, you know, like gets up to like 8-9 minutes, but if it's like a slow night, make it like 6 minutes, you know what I mean? That's kind of like just my idea on it. But regardless, like, this is obviously a different scenario because this is meant to be a one-night experience where mechanics unfold as you go through the night itself. But despite all that, I actually do really enjoy it. It reminded me of Night Stars a lot. I remember that was like the first game I played that had this kind of night structure, and it was definitely a different experience from your more traditional like 5 nights, 6 nights experience. But of course, with all that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, comment, let me know what you enjoyed from the video and what you want to see from me. Great job to Malachi Butterfly. The game will be description below as always, and with that said, I'll see you in another video. Take care.